Hey guys, what's up? It's Martay. Before I get started today, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. You don't want to miss a thing, especially with this new series I'm doing all about how to come away with the Lord. This all started from my song Come Away. I just did a music video right here. Once I put it out, I was like, I really need to not only just put out a song about coming away with the Lord that provokes people to want to do that, but to come through with some real life tangible information on how to actually do that. I wouldn't know unless I had people teach me, so I wanted to pass on the knowledge. And just in case you did not know, I have some amazing merch to just be a great reminder for this whole concept of coming away with the Lord and how like we really need to do it. Like it's so important. So actually wearing a shirt today, look at that. Come away with me. Oh, I love it because I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, like you're made to come away. All right, let's get started. Let's talk about how to seek God with all of your heart. Guys, that's a loaded video, but I'm gonna give you some simple things that'll put you on the path. Everything I give you in this video is not going to be the thing that gets you to that place where you are seeking God with all your heart. But I'm gonna give you some tangible, practical advice that's going to put you on the path and put you on the trajectory. And I think one thing that you really have to consider is God will lead you to seeking Him perfectly, completely. And I talked about that in this video, how to discern the voice of God and His leadings. So make sure you check that out. But I want to talk about in this video, how to seek Him with all your heart, some practical things that you can be doing. Now, just to start all this off there was a rap song by this rapper named Show Baraka, and he has a line in it.
Smart enough to know I gotta pray fast, read. Hard enough to know I gotta hit those streets.
I don't even remember the song, but I remember this line like so vividly, and it really helped me to always just keep the things that I'm about to tell you in my mind. And the line goes, smart enough, I know I need to pray, fast, read, hard enough before I even hit these streets. Yeah, I think it was 10 years ago when that joint came out, and I was like, yeah, I need to be doing those things. That's how I really see God with my full heart. And some of us are really good at one thing, but we need to mix it up sometimes and do the whole four. That's only 3. I'm gonna throw in another one as well. Let's start with the first one. Hard enough to know I need to pray. I want to talk about Matthew 6. Jesus talks about how to pray, guys. I encourage you to read this. And he talks about the Lord's Prayer, and he says, and when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites. And so one thing I want to just bring up is, we don't pray to check a box. We don't pray to look good in front of people or whatever. We pray to have a connection with God. How do you get to know Him with all of your heart? First thing, you pray so you can know Him. Prayer looks like exactly what Jesus talks about in Matthew 6. Check it out. And I think sometimes we kind of like over spiritualize it. Like he talks about simple things like, our Father in heaven, I honor your name. So entering prayer with reverence and saying, God, right now, I turn off my distractions and I honor you. Just as if you were going to meet your favorite singer or your favorite president or whatever, whoever you highly esteem. You probably wouldn't have your phone ringer on, taking in a bunch of calls and stuff, like as you meet this person. Same thing with God. Like you want to reverence Him and honor Him when you pray. And I know we're all tempted to, so-and-so calls and you're in the middle of trying to pray. And and that's funny because I really feel like so-and-so will call, because there's warfare when you start praying. Like if you actually pray, you're gonna experience some warfare. I'm just gonna be 100 with you, because the devil does not want you praying. So turn your phone off. Just get rid of that distraction so he can't come at you through that. And I'm mostly preaching to myself, so read Matthew 6, all about praying and how Jesus wants us to pray. And I'm gonna actually go read it after this again too. It's gonna be a good reminder. Smart enough to know I gotta pray, fast. Fast. That's the next one. I want to bring up fasting. Now, people have all kinds of reasons for fasting nowadays. People fast to get their immune systems back to that of an infant. People fast to lose weight. People fast to prove points. People fast for all kinds of things. The number one reason we fast as Christians is to behold Jesus and to basically silence our flesh and focus on the spiritual aspect of who we are, and that Jesus is real and He is coming back. One thing fasting, and I'm talking about like the biblical sense of fasting where you give up food or you skip a meal and you replace it with prayer, you replace it with a time of reading the word, a time of spiritual devotion to the Lord. That is the original type of fasting. I know nowadays, you know, especially as Americans and Westerners, there's so much to fast. For example, people will say, I'm going on a social media fast. Does God honor that? Absolutely. I believe God honors it. But like the actual like biblical picture of fasting was giving up food. I want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not telling you how to fast. I am not telling you that you need to fast because you're not going to be a Christian, you're going to be a sinner. Never said that, never going to say that. So that's my disclaimer. It is absolutely beneficial if you want to get closer to the Lord and gain his perspective. But I want to give you some tips. Number one, God honors all of your effort. And all of our efforts, no matter how good we are at fasting or whatever, are absolutely weak in comparison to the efforts of God. So I just want to say, you might fast only one meal, give up sugar or something like that, and the Lord look at you and be like, I am so pleased with my daughter, with my son. I don't feel like God withholds blessings from those who don't fast. I know that's deep. That's deep. But I feel like fasting is a way to get closer to him, to focus in, to seek him. I don't think that we should fast just to necessarily get something. We can do that. There's times in the Bible, like David in the Bible fasted because his son was, you know, on his deathbed and he didn't want him to die. His son died anyways. And as soon as his son died, he picked himself up, he went and he cleaned himself up. He went about his business. So we can fast for things and all of that. Be led, and that's why I put that video out before this, by the Lord. So if you don't have peace fasting for something, don't do it. Don't do it. I want to also give another tip. For example, if you're fasting and it all of a sudden only in your mind and in your heart becomes about food, or you start thinking about like, I'm losing weight, this is so good, you're now not fasting for Jesus. You're fasting for other things and you should stop. So if fasting ever becomes about, man, I just really want a cheeseburger, and you think about that like all day, every day, and you're thinking about cheeseburgers more than you're thinking about Jesus, you should just stop. Just call it a day. You know what I mean? And come back when you feel led, or like your community does another fast or something. But we should not fast and be consumed with food, or like be, I have friends that have blended cheeseburgers. Like, you could do that. If you're on a liquid fast, you can blend a cheeseburger. I'm not gonna hate on you, but like, come on. Like, if you want a cheeseburger, just like quit the fast and the Lord will honor what you've done, even if you didn't stick to the whole 7 days that you committed in your heart to fast, but you did the 3, and now you can't stop thinking about cheeseburgers and you are messed up because you're thinking about food all the time. Seal your fast with a good prayer and go break it with a cheeseburger. Matthew 6 talks about fasting, and it talks about don't look gloomy like the hypocrites do. Make sure you look normal, like it's not a show. It is for the Lord. Be led in that. Do your own research on fasting, but fasting is another way to pursue the Lord with all of your heart. Third way is reading the word. I love the word. I love you, Jesus. I love the word, guys, because the reality hit me maybe a couple years ago. The reality hit me that every time I come face to face with the word, I'm coming face to face with Jesus. It says it in John, in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. Jesus was the word, is the word. So every time I read this, I am seeking him. I am looking at him face to face, and I'm getting to know him. And that is beautiful. And some people will be like, well, Martay, the word is so boring. It's just so boring. I feel that way sometimes too. But the reality is the word is not boring. If you have actually read through the word, it is so interesting. It is so fun. It is so like, whoa, like TV series and novelas cannot compare with this right here. This is it. There are stories about prostitutes. There's stories about people sleeping with people. And I'm not saying we read the Bible for that, but like, that's real. Like, David slept with another man's wife and then put the brother on the front line and the dude got killed. What? That's in here. The reality is the word isn't boring. There is a seed. We partner with a lie in our minds that says the word is boring, and that's the enemy's game. He loves to take out the one source of like tremendous power that we have available to us all the time. The word is so powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, able to pierce between bone and marrow, soul and spirit. The word can do so much. Every word that is spoken by the Lord, he says in Isaiah 55 that it will not return void, meaning that it is like an arrow, it will go forth and do something. So just want to encourage you, get in your word. Okay, last thing, community. Hebrews talks about how we should not forsake the fellowship of the saints. And a lot of us in this new millennium, this new era, we love to believe, because it's another lie. I believe the enemy is telling us that we can do this all on our own, that we can partner with no one and be very successful in pursuing the Lord and stay on the right track. And that is just not how God has set it up in here. And even Paul said it in the Bible. He said, do not forsake the fellowship of the saints. And if you look at Jewish people, and I mean, Jesus was a Jew. They did everything together. They prayed together, they sang together, they fasted together, they did everything together. Jewish people still do everything together. And so we need each other to seek the Lord well, because we keep each other accountable. Someone will be like, yo, Martay, that's not the way the passage actually reads. You're reading it wrong. Yo, Martay, I see you doing this, and because you're my sister, I'm just gonna say, I feel like you should do it differently or not do it. And so community, everything, guys. All right, guys, that's it for me. Make sure you subscribe. I want to make sure that you guys are getting all these videos on how to seek the Lord. I'm coming out with another one next Tuesday. And let me know in the comments below, what is the biggest thing that you believe helps you pursue the Lord with all of your heart? I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.